Welcome back to Financial Strategies with Andrew Adjemi in Connecticut and Daniel Adjemi in Colorado.
Legend has it that the Dutch West India Company purchased Manhattan for 60 guilders or something around $24. We don't really know how all that went down. And there's a lot of stories, a lot of legends about what they actually paid for. Was it $1,500? Was it $24? But we do know that in 1626 that the purchase was made. To illustrate the power of compounding, we wanted to look at what that $24 would have turned into by compounding at 7% interest. I'm Daniel Adjemi.
And I'm Andrew Adjemi. You're listening to Financial Strategies with Andrew and Daniel Adjemi, because people don't know what people don't know. Today's topic is, if it's tax-free, it's for me. And we're glad to be back with you after our break there. And Daniel, that's a crazy thing. You know, just wanted to say, Daniel, for those who are watching us on our YouTube channel, you know, it looks like I'm in sunny paradise there with the water flowing and the palm trees breezing there. But I'm not. I'm up here in Connecticut where we got snow on the ground. So I like to think about it. I like to look at the picture of myself and think about, I wish I were there now. But nevertheless, we're still, the information we're bringing across is still good. So, so Daniel, that aspect of Manhattan and buying it for that price, and that's crazy. And I mean, I don't know what it's worth today, but you know, if you were able to compound that $24, you know, at 5%, 8%, whatever the case might be, you know, what would that be like today?
Well, assuming that you were compounding 7% and it compounded annually, right? Because we could compound money monthly or daily or semi-annually, right? There's all these different ways, but this is just to illustrate the power of interest and the power of compounding, because compounding works in everything in life, whether that be exercising, whether it be what you eat, whether it be your money. It's one of the most powerful things on the planet, right? Right. So that $24 would have turned into $9,700 billion.
So that's $9.7 trillion is what you just said.
Right.
Okay. At
now,
what percent?
7%.
7% compounded
annually.
Okay. Now you're going to change it.
If we change that to compounded monthly, what do you think it does to it? It pushes up a little bit?
No, I think it's exponential. It's at least a half to 3 times, if not more.
Yeah, at $22 trillion. $24
3 times
turned into $22 trillion, $571 billion.
Wow, the power of compounding interest, right?
That's what it's about. It's about compounding your wealth, right?
Yeah.
Compounding your health, compounding your lifestyle. You can compound any of these things. You can also do compounding debt.
Right.
And that's something that governments have to be careful of, because that's where we get into taxes again, and we go full circle, right? Because how do you pay it off if it's growing faster than your tax revenues?
Right.
And then if rates ever go up and your interest rate on your debt goes up, can you ever pay it off? Do you have to go to a 90% tax rate? What do you do? And that's why we're talking about this is on the horizon. This is where everyone can see it.
Yeah.
How do you protect yourself? How do you protect your wealth? How do you protect your hard-earned money from taxation?
Exactly. There's different things that people have to look at when they're looking at their money. One is not only how they invest their money, but it is also in what does the taxation aspect of that mean? Okay? Because, it doesn't matter as much how much you make as how much you get to keep. That's what counts, is what you get to keep. So in the illustration Daniel said earlier, if you had an IRA 401k with $1 million, do you really have $1 million? Or if it was an 80% tax bracket, you've got more like $200,000. If you're paying 40% tax between state and federal, well, it's more like $600,000. So do you really get to keep that? That you don't get to keep the million, you get to keep the 600, just keeping it plain and simple. Now there's more to it than that, right? But we're just trying to keep this plain and simple. So that's a significant thing that we're looking at today and trying to help people to be able to understand, to be prepared for. But I want to let you know and remind you that you're listening to Financial Strategies with Andrew and Daniel Adjemi. Today's topic is, if it's tax-free, it's for me, right? And so, people don't know what people don't know. So we're trying to help you understand some things about taxes that typically you don't understand or are aware of. That we have a paper that we'd like to put in your hands to help you understand this stuff a little bit more clearly and accurately. It's called Proactive Tax Saving Strategies. Proactive Tax Saving Strategies. Ask for it by name, calling it the Tax Strategies paper. And you can call Megan at 800-725-7616, and she'll be able to glad to get that out to you free with no obligation. But, while we're talking about these things, the thing that I want to bring across to people today in this is we talked in the first segment about taxes, how high the tax rates had gotten at one point in time in this country, how high that President Roosevelt wanted to push them, but he wasn't allowed to, which that was a good thing. And, we have a new president. Who knows what he's going to do? But here's the whole point. Here's the point. We do know that taxes are going to increase in the future. How do we know that? Well, number one, currently, we are enjoying some low tax brackets and tax rates in 2025 currently, without any changes that may come about between now and then. I don't think they would be lessening the rate, but in 2025, taxes are going to increase. The now 12% tax bracket is going to go to 15%. The now 22 tax bracket is going to go back to 25%. The now 24 tax bracket is going to go back to 28%, and so forth and so on. So taxes are going to increase in just a few short years. Now, here's the other thing that you folks, I want to make sure that you know. A lot of people don't think about this aspect. This is very key. Please, if you're married, this is especially important, because when one of you passes away, your tax bracket is going to increase.
Tremendously.
You're going to go tremendous, right? You're going to go from the filing jointly bracket into the single bracket. And the limitations on that are higher and the percentages are higher. And so that's why it's important. That's why we think it's so important to be able to bring this information to you, so that you can have information to be able to ask the right questions to the right people. Again, I said this before, I'm going to say it again, don't try this at home without the proper tax counsel, without the proper financial help that you need to be able to do this. But this is so key, is to be able to understand that taxes are going to increase. So we talk a lot about paying taxes at a discounted rate today. Think about this for a minute. If you're in the 12, if you're here, if you're 2/3 up in the 12% tax bracket, and for those that are watching on our YouTube channel, you can see it a little better because I'm using my hands to describe it, right? And you have a third of the bracket where you could convert money at 12%, pay 12% on today, instead of when the rates go up to paying 15% when you turn 72, have to start taking money out of your IRAs, 401ks, and so forth. Or maybe you end up getting pushed into the 22, 25% tax bracket because you're having to take out so much money, and you're going to start collecting Social Security as well. So taxes are going to increase, and a lot of times people's income increases, so that makes the taxes increase even more. So you have to be aware, you have to take advantage of the things that are available to you. And today we're going to be talking about some of those things. I'm going to tease you because we're going to have to take a break in a little bit here. But we're going to come back. We're going to talk about the solution. So we've been talking about taxes are high, but they can continue to go higher. They could be, right? I live in the state of Connecticut. Daniel lives in Denver. State of Connecticut, between state income tax and federal income tax, it's very easy for people to be paying 30 to 40% taxes on their income. California, it's very easy to pay 40, 50% and higher on your income from that standpoint, on all your income. So we want to give you a solution, be able to give you some ideas of how you'll be able to get some help with that. And we have a paper that we'd love to put you in your hand that will help you. It's called Proactive Tax Saving Strategies. Proactive Tax Saving Strategies. This will be able, it's just a few pages that will be able to give you some ideas of how you can prepare and how you can ask your tax counsel, your financial advisor, whatever, to be able to put yourself in a better position, maybe for 2020, but especially for 2021. So we have that paper available. And to the next 5 callers, we have a limited supply of Scotty McLean's book, Three Blind Mice, talking about, this is an important book that talks about how so many times you have a financial person, you have a tax person, you have a attorney, and they don't talk to each other, and they don't make the plan synergistic, working together, and you got all these different pieces. And it's talking about how important it is to have somebody that can be able to look at the whole picture for you, and that those people are out there from that standpoint. And so that book is available to the next 5 callers at 800-725-7616, 800-725-7616. Ask Megan for the Three Blind Mice or the Tax Strategies Report. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to Financial Strategies with Andrew and Daniel Adjemi, because people don't know what people don't know.
I'm David Scranton, founder of the Retirement Income Store. If you're in or near retirement, are you certain you have the right retirement plan in place? Do you want to help ensure your nest egg will last you all throughout retirement? Take our retirement review quiz and find out in 5 minutes or less if you're doing everything you can to achieve a more successful retirement.
Visit us online at adjemi.com. That's AGEMY.com.